Yeah. Do that again, Cliff. Cliff, do that when we come on, okay?
You ready?
We're on.
No, wait till we come on. We're on? Put it back on, Cliff.
Put it back on. All right,
Yeah.
put it back on.
Oh, Lord.
Now?
No, wait, you ready? Are we on yet? Good. Hello,
Yes,
Sybil.
we are. We are live, George. Yes.
Are we all live? Cliff, Cliff, take your glasses off.
All right.
Yeah. No, you look much better. Hey, Cliff, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Okay, and Sybil, God bless you today. You guys, I don't know. I know you guys so much to talk about. I know you want to talk about the Publishers Clearinghouse. I know that's the first thing you want to talk about, right?
Yes,
So much. And who won that $5,000 for a week, every week for the rest of their life? There's so much to talk about today. Okay. George Wallace Thursday. Go ahead, Sybil.
Welcome to George Wallace Thursday, everybody. As you heard, it is the last day of the week for us on the broadcast side, and we want to welcome you to What You Need to Know News, and welcome our guest and our partner, Cliff Albright, Black Voters Matter and BlackVotersMatterFund.org. Hey, Cliff, welcome.
Hey, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. How's everything? What's new?
What's new? Oh, nothing major. Nothing major. Nothing. It's been a slow news
nothing
week.
happened. Nothing.
Right, you are a part of changing the world, Cliff.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Let's give him a hand. Changing the world.
Yes.
I mean, the whole world. People are calling me and just saying how happy they are what Georgia did. We got music for Georgia, everything that Georgia, whatever you guys did, and we're going to duplicate that in South Carolina, North Carolina, all of those southern states, Texas for sure, Sybil. Because we got the black voters in Texas that don't vote, but we're going to change it because now everybody got the message. Black voters matter.
Yeah, right. And they get it now. They get it. So, Cliff, after Tuesday, or let's just go up to Tuesday. How are you feeling on that Tuesday morning into the day?
The whole day I was feeling pretty good. Started off the day feeling really confident. We'd had a great couple of months, a great last week. Leading up to Election Day, great energy on the streets. We started off that morning. We were trying to get to 5 counties in the South Metro Atlanta area. It was an ambitious schedule, but we were trying to get to some of those counties that are, even though they're in the Atlanta area, they don't really get a lot of attention. Right. If I started to name them here, a lot of people would be like, "What? That's Atlanta? That's Metro?" But places like Rockdale County and Newton County and Clayton County, right, and Henry County. Yeah. There you go. You a man who's traveled a little something, haven't you?
I've been everywhere. I was in all those places yesterday. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. And you did a wonderful job in Stone Mountain. Everywhere y'all went, the word got out all over Georgia, man. I felt good Tuesday. I felt bad Tuesday. I felt good Tuesday. I felt bad Tuesday. I felt good Tuesday. I felt bad. I was going up and down, Cliff. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, we thank you, Cliff, and so you tried to make the rounds and get to those people, and I know the response when I was able to come out with you guys was just incredible. Everybody was pumped and excited, and hearing the music, and you guys on the box, and come on out, your vote matters, and early voting is underway. Let's go, let's do it, make a difference, we're going to make a change here in Georgia, and they were excited. I can only imagine by the time you got to the last day to vote on the 5th, that things were really at a feverish pitch.
Yeah, it really was. And everywhere we went, the energy was great. People were, how we do it. We on the side of the road, we're at intersections, we're talking on the mic. People were waving their hands, putting their fist up out the window, shouting at us as they drive by, shouting good things, right? And so it was just really good energy all the way through election night. No long lines. We didn't have any major issues in most of the polling places. The biggest issue that we had throughout the day in different counties was that the Secretary of State here had sent out a notice to different counties saying that the what we call line warming activities, right? Voter comfort, going to the polling places and giving out food and water and snacks and things of that nature. He had put out a memo saying, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't be close to the polling place and do that." They've never said this before, mind you, in Georgia. But all of a sudden this year, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but something about this year and this runoff election made him feel like he had to put out this guidelines to keep our folks away from the polling places, away from the voters. It didn't work. We still out-organized them. We still had our folks out. We still talked to our folks who were online. We still were able to provide comfort. And we still, at the end of the day, made history. And that's what,
And Cliff, is it true they're still trying to defeat us? The Republican Party of Georgia is still trying to say we got to do something about the absentee voting and they want to restrict that. So because they found out that the black people, they really voted back with the absentee and the mail-in voting. So they're trying to restrict that now when they come back this time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're trying to make some changes to these voting laws, you know, regarding, you know, absentee and signatures and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's why what we're saying, one of the first things that we want this new administration, this Biden administration, and now this new Senate, right? One of the
Yes.
first things that we want them to do out of all the pieces of legislation that are sitting there in Congress waiting for action, that John Lewis Voting Rights Act, they need to do that with the quickness. Because now that we've shocked the world, right, and now that we've shocked the whole country, now they're going to be coming after us. Exactly what George said with all these new voter laws on top of the voter suppression that they already got. We need to get that Voting Rights Act signed with the quickness so that we can be ready and that they can't stop us from doing what we've been doing.
Yeah, Karen Bass, the congresswoman from California, who's the outgoing chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, I heard her talk today, and she that was the first thing that she mentioned that has to be done by the Biden administration. She said maybe January 21st, but that these efforts in the John Lewis Voter Rights Act should be underway and in place very quickly. Now that you have the House and the Senate and the Biden administration in place, these things should be happening.
And that should be the first thing that we should do. I think the first thing we should do is the policemen stop putting us on the ground. I'm tired of getting on the damn ground, okay?
Yep, you're right.
Can we do that too, Cliff?
Hey, he can do all of this. He can do three things, at least three things before he even gets back to his office. In fact, when they're leaving those stands where he takes the oath while they're walking back, he needs to get on his phone. You know, he can get some of that Adobe sign on your phone where he can sign some of this stuff. He needs to do just what George said, the George Floyd Act, right? And we even want them to go a step further. There's something called the Breathe Act that goes even further than the George Floyd. He can do them both. He can sign them both as he's walking. But that, he needs to do something on that. He needs to do the Voting Rights Act. And he's got to do something on this COVID. Our folks, we all know that $600 ain't nothing. Even the $2,000 to be honest with you, like $2,000 is okay, but it needs to be like these other countries, right? These other European countries that are giving out $2,000 each month to deal with COVID. And here we are in a country that's been hit the hardest, and here's our community that's been hit hardest in the country that's been hit the hardest, but we're having the least response. So 2,000 is a good start, but we'd love to see it, see that every month. He can do each of those things day one, hour one. As soon as he takes his hand off that, pull out your phone and go on and sign it digitally, and let's get this going.
Do it right there in front of the public. After your speech, before my speech, let me sign these orders.
That's right. That's right.
As we were talking about, with the $600, and people say, well, that's a good start, and just wait until, but you're right, that $2,000 is a good start, but it's not enough. And especially when you consider, Cliff, that people have been waiting now 6-7 months since the last coronavirus stimulus check, and now, I mean, that money was gone before it was even in people's bank accounts, right? And now this, and waiting for this, and folks are still saying, I know some folks that got their money quite quickly, and others are saying they haven't seen anything yet, and wondering if and when this is going to come.
I know I didn't get nothing yet. I didn't get a damn dime yet.
I'm sorry about that, George.
You sure you didn't get something to go
I didn't get nothing.
Nice.
I didn't get $600. I'm gonna sign up for this $2,000. That's my money. That's my money. Give me my damn money. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we've been talking about.
I know they ain't gonna give it to me.
I don't think they are. But there's so much more. And Cliff, just in terms of the kind of, I guess, response people were getting, that you were getting on Wednesday and today from people. I know that you've been buried in work and you have, some paperwork and stuff to do, but you still got to be getting a lot of, kudos and atta guys and all of that in terms of the work. I won't call him a boy. It's an atta guy.
Atta guy. I thought it was a whole new word. Atta guy. Okay, you putting three words together. I'm going, what the hell is atta guy? I'm just getting through an insurrection. You got atta guy.
That's what you got to do when you don't have a real stimulus. You got to make stuff go a long way. You got to squeeze those words together. No, it's been exactly that. We've been really busy. It's been. I was just saying. I think we've been just as busy post-election as we were pre-election, because you got a lot of folks that are trying to understand, like, what what happened, right? How did, how did Black voters come out at the rate that they did? So we've been answering a lot of questions about that. Then we've been answering a lot of questions on a much more serious, I mean, it's all serious, but a sadder note, we've been answering questions around what took place yesterday at the Capitol. I know you probably been saying the same thing that the rest of us been saying. You got these folks. You knew that there was going to be this protest by these crazy MAGA people.
Yes.
You know that the FBI has already said that the biggest threat to national security is domestic terrorism from these white hate groups. You know that, right? Everybody knew they were coming to the Capitol. Everybody knew that Congress was going to be there doing this vote, and yet somehow they had absolutely zero presence. I've gone into mall stores, clothing stores where there was more security than what they had out at this rally, and so and then they get to stroll up in there, flagpoles, weapons, guns, knives, all kinds of
just walk right in.
The walls and hanging from the rafters, taking the Speaker of the House's podium and all of this crazy stuff. But here's the other thing, and so people are now, a lot of discussion today, yesterday, but especially today, in terms of the difference of the Black Lives Matter protests, in which no violence, nothing was done untoward, and the response from the police. And this is really a big part of what we have to push for in this new administration too, right?
No, definitely. And again, that's the stuff that we want to see on day one. In addition to the George Floyd Act, there's things that they can just do at the executive level. Like he can sign back his Justice Department, which they just announced that team today, and really glad to see Kristen Clark is in there on that team.
I wanted to mention her.
Yeah. So, but they can, through the Justice Department and just through executive action, they can go back to some of these consent decrees that they have with these police departments, investigating police departments like Ferguson Department, that these departments that have a history of, excessive force and excessive incarceration and all that stuff. They can go back to like forcing those kind of police departments into consent decrees so that they can measure and watch and monitor. That's something that they can do again on day one. And so that's what our community is expecting. That's why we had the turnout that we have. We didn't have this historic turnout from Black voters just because we want this conceptual balance of power in the Congress, right? Or just because we want Biden to have an easier life. We did it because our community expects action on these issues that we care deeply about, and we expect to see it happen really quickly because now they have no excuse. You've got the White House, you've got both houses of Congress. Let's get it done.
Get it done. Get it done. Let's hold them accountable. Get it done.
Cliff, let me ask you, in this period of time, and I'm not sure what your plans are and what states or cities that you guys are going to be traveling to next for the next, but what can we do to keep that energy going from January 20th, 21st into the next cycle?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that folks can do, and we are going to be taking a close look at Texas. I think we're coming your way, Sybil. But there's a couple of things that people can do. One, there's a lot of local elections that are going to be taking place in 2021. It's an odd number year. People sometimes call it an off year. At Black Voters Matter, we always say there's no such thing as an off year. You got a lot of local elections, city councils, county commissions in some cases, maybe even some DAs and sheriffs and things of that nature. Those are the races that are really most connected to those issues of police violence, to us, to our daily lives, to the things that we encounter every day as we, the roads that we drive on, the schools that our kids attend, all of that, and the police forces that we're concerned about. So 2021 is going to be a big year for those local races. 2021 is also going to be a big year because we got this redistricting thing going on, right? We just went through this whole census battle. Now we got to deal with the redistricting that comes after the census. That's something that we've got to be engaged in, making sure that they're drawing the lines in a way where we can get real representation. So that's something that people can get involved in. And then the last thing is holding folks accountable. But what we've been talking about on this call, holding people accountable, the people that we put in office, including these two senators, right? Including Biden and all these other elections that took place last year. Now we got to hold them accountable. And the beautiful thing is that when we campaign and we do voter outreach by talking about the issues, not just talking about personalities, right? But by talking about the issues, that makes it easier to hold folks accountable because now you've got the blueprint, you've got the ingredients on which you can hold them
Yes.
accountable. That's what we got to do this year.
And Cliff, as quiet as it's kept, 2022 is not that far away, but we got the elections again for representatives, right? So
That's
Texas, we need the John, what's his name, Betos. We need some
Beto.
we need some new people there, and then Congressman West can get back in, and we got some good people in Texas. All these states, these southern states, America's gonna be different in the next 5-6 years. Trust me. Because
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just gonna say it's such a good point, George, because 2022 isn't that far away, and what people can do, right? And look, we're not naive, right? We know that there was a lot of support that came Georgia's way for this runoff, or even some of the other states in the general election, because people wanted Black folks to save the country, right? That's the that's the bottom line, right? And so there's a lot of resources that were flowing in a lot of these elections. This was the most important, most expensive Senate race ever, right?
Ever.
And the question is, are folks going to do the same thing in 2021?
Yes.
Right? Because don't come to us in November of 2022 asking us to save the country again if you weren't there for us in 2021 when we were fighting some of these other battles around local elections and primaries and all that stuff. Don't ignore us in 21 and then come back to us in 22 and say, hey, Black folks, we need you once again to expand the Congress or to get this senator in Texas or some of these other states where there's going to be some major battles going on. Be there for us, as we say, 365. Black Voters Matter 365.
But Cliff, don't you think we want to be in control of ourselves? We want to put ourselves in those positions also. I think that's most important, and we know we can make it happen now.
Absolutely. And I think that people who want to get involved with Black Voters Matter and want to be a part of this incredible organization, because you guys have such wonderful just a group of people, a staff, not just concentrated when you're on the road, but you have people. I was able to go into a Zoom call one day, and folks were talking and getting their marching orders for every day, or giving you your marching orders from their perspective. How can people get involved with Black Voters Matter?
You can follow us on our social, on Facebook, IG, Twitter. It's Black Voters MTR, like matter, Black Voters MTR, or you could go to our website, blackvotersmatterfund.org. But the best way to follow us, get the most recent and up-to-date info and all the cool videos, is to go to our social, Black Voters MTR, and there you can get connected, you can learn how to volunteer, you can learn what we're doing, what states we're in, and all that good stuff.
And what states you're in? Don't you think the African Americans are like Tennessee and Louisiana? Don't you think these Black people are a little angry now? Said, if they did that shit, we can do it too. And that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to catch on like fire. It's going to catch on like fire. Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, we're going to get out and vote. We're always going to have like 30% of the white. We can't do it without that 30% of the white vote. So we're going to make it happen. It's going to be a new America. I hope I live to see it.
Yes, you will.
You will. But you're right, Louisiana.
You get old when you start saying. You get old when you start saying, "I hope I'm around to see it."
Yeah. Well, one of our team members. Speaking of our team, said, well, one of our central team members had a birthday the other day, and I said, "Oh, well, how old are you?" And I think he said like 26. I said, 26. Man, I got shoes older than 26. What are you talking about?
26.
And
Cliff, you ain't that old. Cliff, you must be what, 39, 40?
Oh, well, thank you, George, but I'll take it. That's right. Yeah, there it goes. That's right. 39, exactly.
Because I will lie in a minute. I will lie.
Okay, because George is what, 27, 28. So
I'm 39. I'm 39.
I'm sorry. Cliff, your phones, are they just ringing off the hook as of this week? And what does that look like for you guys?
It's been crazy. I know, Latasha, both of us been on the phone, either on the phone or she's on somebody's Zoom or on MSNBC or something, and we're talking to reporters, all kind of reporters calling up trying to get the stories, and other folks, right? Speaking, to George's point, folks calling from some of these other states and saying exactly what George was just saying. Hey, we need y'all to do what you did in Georgia. We need to do that in Tennessee. We want to do that in Texas, in California. Literally got an email the other day from some folks in Fort Worth that want to do some
Yeah.
work around their local elections, right?
Yeah.
So the phone's just been ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Can I
saying,
clear up one
Yeah,
thing?
there's
Can I clear up one thing
the
before you
mayor
guys
of
wanna-
Fort Worth has just
Go ahead.
announced that she's not running for reelection, and
Oh.
so this week. And so there's a lot of energy regarding Texas, especially as you said, coming this way. There's a lot of energy and interest by people in terms of because everybody they see what can happen. You see
Exactly.
it, they tasted it via other people in this victory here, because so many people were engaged and felt that this was their victory as well.
Right.
No matter where they were in the country.
But I just want to clear up one thing, Sybil. If the phone was ringing off the hook, Cliff, how could that?
what do you say?
No, go ahead, George. Ask your question.
The phone is ringing off the hook. Now, if it's off the hook, how could it be ringing? I just want to clear that up. I got
the bigger question.
Is that in this book?
Oh,
Right. That's right. That's right.
There's a whole lot of bull twit going down now, Sybil. I'm trying to tell you. Yes, sir.
Well, the better question, George, where I thought you were going with that is, what hook is it ringing off of? Because these phones nowadays, they got no hooks on them. You got a whole generation of folks. You say the phone ringing off the hook, and they're like, "What you talking about?"
But I swear to God, I'm old enough to remember when the phone was on the hook.
That's right.
I'm old enough to remember when the phone was on the hook. What was that lady name? You said, "Hello, Cora."
Right, Sarah.
Sarah, yeah.
A couple of things that I do want to talk to you about, Cliff, and you mentioned first Kristen Clark, who is a voting and civil rights leader. She was nominated today to serve in the Biden cabinet as the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. And if confirmed by the Senate, she will lead the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division and helping enforce those civil rights laws and ensure equal justice for all Americans. It couldn't happen to a more dedicated and incredibly talented young woman. And she currently serves as the president and executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. And that's a nonprofit as well that played a critical role in this year's elections, or in the 2020 election. So congratulations to her. That's really great.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, somebody just catch it in. Young people don't even know what an operator is.
That's right.
That's
And
right.
the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Cliff, because I know we our time with you is limited because you got work to do. But yesterday, with the difference and setting the difference between Black Lives Matter, the demonstrations and the protests, nonviolent, may I add, protests and demonstrations this year, especially this past year, and what we saw yesterday on the U.S. Capitol steps, in the offices, in the Speaker of the House's office, and how the difference is. But here's the other thing: the police chief of the Capitol Police taking responsibility, I guess, for their lack of action and not stepping up to be prepared for what came their way yesterday. This guy gets to resign. He's not fired. He gets to resign, and he gets to pick the date, I guess. He's resigning next week.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's really, and there's gonna have to be some real investigations going on.
Yeah,
right?
that's why he's resigning.
yeah, exactly, right. Because it's, and this isn't conspiracy theory. I mean, it's just the bottom line is there is absolutely no way. We folks in our family of organizers, that do protest and do demonstrations at the Capitol on a regular basis. They can all tell you there is no way that a group of that size should have been able to get that close and have absolutely no presence. It's almost inconceivable that somewhere within the chain of command that there wasn't some kind of order, some kind of stand down order given, in fact, if you look at some of the videos, there's a video where you can see some of the Capitol Police literally move the gate out the way to let these people in.
Escort them in.
Exactly. Where did that idea come from, right? And so there's gonna have to be a real investigation into this. But you're right, that he gets to resign and pick his date and gets full pension and all this good stuff when you've enabled what's essentially a terrorist or domestic terrorist insurrection.
And asking, and the FBI asking for the public's help in identifying these people, and They don't care. I mean, they took pictures with all the newspapers, all the news organizations, and gave their names and everything. That's not going to take a lot of work. It's if they're going to do the work to bring these people to
That's
justice.
what we're going to do on 26. That's what Biden is going to do. And the AG, Attorney General, when Biden gets in, we're still going to get these people, especially the guy sitting at the desk. He's got to do 10 years. You know?
Oh, he no doubt. The way that they desecrated that building. Nicole on Facebook has said that the news has just come that one of the U.S. Capitol Police has died as a result of yesterday, I guess. And so we send our condolences, and most definitely we just need to we need to stay apprised. And I'm not laughing about this situation. Obviously, I'm looking at what we have coming up. And Cliff, if you can just hang on for just this video that George provided. Yeah, he's got work to do, George.
Oh my! I wouldn't have been talking. I won't say anything else. Go ahead, Sybil.
No. We're going to play your video. I want Cliff to go away with a laugh.
Okay.
A video that George has given, and so which is an update of what we saw yesterday.
The ushers at the church do better security than that. Child, black folks could have walked up there asking for directions. They would have got shot. Baby, they took over the federal building quicker than some 30-second rice. They got better security at the beauty supply store. Now, I don't know how much ammunition they had. I just know they wasn't using none of it. We can't even go in Walgreens with 5 or more people in our party. If it's 5, only 5. Black folks could have said something that rhymed with gun. They would have got shot. Child, they was climbing all over the wall. Looked like 72 Spider-Men out there. A mess. But I tell you what, I'm going to mind my business. And she come through there crying. You see her with the piano scarf on? And you know if that would have been us, they would have killed us 2 streets before we got over there. See, if that would have been us, and we started a riot at 4:38 p.m., we would have been dead before the 5 o'clock news. We protest because they kill us. See, they protest because we do we even know why they protest? They say Blue Lives Matter, but they up there whooping on the police.
And how many conversations did we have like that yesterday and today?
Well,
oh my God.
I hate to say it because it looked hilarious, but I actually couldn't hear it.
You can hear it. Cliff, I'll send it to you. We'll send it to you.
Please,
okay.
Please
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you did a good acting job because I saw your teeth.
Well, it looked funny. Like I could imagine what she was probably saying.
What you knew was a black lady talking. And let me tell you another thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that to you, Cliff, so you can hear it. And it was as funny as it looked, and funnier. Cliff, I'm going to let you go because I know you got work to do. But thank you so much. It's been a real honor and a pleasure working with you guys. I hope that we can continue this relationship. And once again, give my regards to your better half, and tell all the gang that I'd love to get back out there on the road with you again.
Definitely. We miss you out there with us, Sybil. George, we got to get you on the bus. It's the blackest bus in America, George.
Well, let me ask you. Do y'all got a shoebox with some chicken in it? Because I'll be on there if you got a
Come on, we got you. We got you covered.
Simple. Wait a second. These young people don't know nothing about no shoebox with chicken.
But they have some leadership that does know, because they're from Bama. They know they're fried chicken.
Okay. That's so cool. This has been wonderful. Good meeting you, man. I'm sorry you got to go. Let me ask you a personal question, Cliff. Where you going? Where you got to go?
Where you got to go?
You ain't. You got
to my laptop. Yeah,
you want to see that? Okay, because if you ain't got nothing to do, you're really important. We'd love to talk to you. You just, I know you
come back with us.
I would love to.
He's got assignments.
Well, go get the hell out of here then. If you leave, leave. Somebody gonna whoop my ass one day. I swear to God, somebody gonna whoop my ass. Cliff, if you leave and leave, get the hell off, okay?
I'm gone.
Jesus Christ, he's still sitting around talking. I got to leave. I got to go. Just like black people on the telephone. Okay, I better let you go. Okay.
Oh, George, AJ Jamal is watching on Facebook. And we would love to have you come on and join us sometime, AJ. So please.
AJ, come in. Yeah, because Thursday night will be funny night when we get out of all of this serious shit, That's right. And thanks to this book, we have plenty of material to work with. Yes, absolutely. It's still available. Thank you so much.
GeorgeWallace.com. Get the book. Okay.
GeorgeWallace.com, GeorgeWallace.net. Anything you want to just George Wallace is the book. I want all my money. Amazon ain't getting one dime of my money, okay? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
And so, and it's about
Well,
doing
when
to it
it's
and
went into his
whatnot.
pockets,
Whatnot is a big ass word, okay?
$2,000.
Whatnot is a big ass word, and that's what we want you to do. It's about all the things I would do, things I want to do, and just crazy thoughts that come out of my head. What was my because I know a lot of people were shaking yesterday about what happened. But through thick and thin, no matter what happens, we know Kim Kardashian and what's her name?
Kanye.
It's gonna work out fine. And out of all happened yesterday, we know that's gonna work out fine. So I know y'all been worried about yesterday was a terrible day, but this is gonna work out for them, okay? So those are my little tweets and things I put out, things I would do, and just having some fun right there, So I was telling Donald Trump, shut your mouth hole. And I was on it yesterday. I was so mad yesterday when so much came down. And
George, can I just tell you that some fun times with you, not only on our text chain, because you just have, just come up with crazy things all day long, but also I was on the phone with you and J. Anthony Brown about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning. Yeah.
2:30, yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun. And I wish that people could, engage with us. Not at that time, but certainly just to get some of the crazy things that come off the top of your head. And that's why I love working with you, because it's really like working with somebody without a net. You just throw this stuff out and it's great.
I got the yellow pad. I never get the stuff I want to talk about. I was talking about Washington Day with the Confederate flag. Stacey Abrams, I want to talk about her. Can I talk about her for a little bit?
Sure, of course.
God bless her, changing America. I don't even know whether she should. Somebody said she should be in the administration, but I think I sent another clip. It's just a clip. Maybe they can put that up. Stacey Abrams. I think is she too big now to be? Is she too big now to be governor of Georgia?
That's a lot of conversation that folks are having
about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's Brian Kemp. You're next. You're out of here.
Yeah.
It's going to be Stacey's job. We're going to give it to her. We're going to work hard for her.
I don't think that Brad Raffensperger gets off the hook either, because of, like Cliff was saying, there's some other things that they were called electioneering, as they were just trying to give people some food or some warmth or a water while they were waiting in line for these things, and telling them that's not legal.
Wait a second. That's where Black voters' lives come in again. We can also get a Democrat for Secretary of State to stop this BS. So that's why it's important to vote. And people did vote all over the world. They sent money in from everywhere to Georgia. And like they say, it was the highest grossing campaign ever. And it worked. It worked. And I just think Georgia is just number one in a whole lot. Look at us now, Atlanta. We're number one movie making capital of the world. Okay, a lot of number one things here. Atlanta, John Lewis, Martin Luther King, a lot of good things. That's Delta Airlines, number one, Chick-fil-A. We just got so much good stuff coming out of Atlanta, and it will continue.
Well, the Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. When Chick-fil-A opened in New York, that was a protest. The lesbian LGBTQ community. They were protesting, and I went down there and I told these people, you guys are right. I'm gonna protest as soon as I go in there and get me a number one. I'm gonna come back out here. I'm gonna get me a number one. So
and I don't mind standing alone. I'm just not a big Chick-fil-A fan. I don't like their politics, and I definitely don't like. I'm not a fan of the food either.
I don't like the politics at all, but I like that chicken. Ooh, I like that chicken. You put some chicken on it. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
They say carrots are good for your eyes, but if you like chicken, you can see a Chick-fil-A a mile away.
That's true. That's true. Do they still have the cows standing on each other's shoulders?
See, somebody asked me the other day, Seinfeld couldn't explain. He said, why is the cow? The cow is trying to get people to eat chicken instead of burgers.
Right, the beef, right.
So he didn't understand, stop eating the beef, eat more chicken. What else I got down here in my pad today? And Stacey Abrams, I got that. And something you're going to close with, I'll talk about that a little later, something you want to close with. Which you close with Yogi's word, right?
Oh, hang on, George. Dawn, you need to hear this from Dawn Frederick on YouTube. She said she got her hardcover copy of Bull Twit yesterday.
She got a hardcover?
Yeah.
Sybil, I told you that's the $100 book, what you have right there. I'm not kidding. It's $100 for the hardcover.
This is not the hardcover. You're talking to Dawn, who has the hardcover, because this is.
I didn't send you the hardcover. Oh.
No. This
For
is
the
like
hardcover.
a
Don't
couple
go
of
away.
dates I've had.
Don't go away. Don't go away. The jokes are really funny. It makes you pee from your eyes. You pee from your eyes in the hardcover. This is a hardcover.
From your eyes,
You
okay.
pee a little from your eyes. You know, you just got all these jokes in here and little online ramblings in my head, you know. See what it says right here? I'll straight up put a refrigerator magnet on an oven. I don't give a shit. I don't play by the rules, okay? I do things like that.
You are such a renegade, George. You are such a
I
renegade.
don't play by the rules. I'm a rebel,
Yeah, you're a rebel without a.
without a doubt. What else on your mind?
George, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Reverend Warnock, a friend of yours,
Oh, yes.
and of course, history made as he will be the first Black man to represent the state of Georgia in the United States Senate. There are only a handful of Black folks in the United States Senate, and now he will join them, and being the first from Georgia, and also Mr. Ossoff will be representing Jewish people in the
Can I
Senate as
tell a
well.
joke before I answer your question?
Uh-huh.
A Black man and a Jew walked into a bar, and the bartender says, "Can I help you, senators?" Isn't that one? Can I help you, senators?
Can I help you, senators?
And these
have you-
guys are great. I expect Warnock, as you see him now, this guy, people trust him, and white people like a young, trusting man, just like Dr. King. And Ossoff is so smart. I expect them to do big things, Sybil. I expect them to do the right thing. And I know they're in a position now where there's a lot of bullshit in Congress, and he's going to have to deal with that. But he's going to tell the truth. He's not going to be like Kelly Loeffler and lie. He's just going to tell the truth. And I think people are going to respect that, because that's what we need today. Respect.
I think an action.
And action, yes.
An action, yeah. Have you spoken to Reverend Warnock since he won?
I talked to him last Wednesday, and I hope to talk to him and then get him on here with us. That's right. What happened was I had bugged him so much, he got me on another program and ensured that I was on that other program to be with him. But I want him here first.
But you haven't spoken to him since the win, since the victory.
Oh, his phone is ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
His phone is ringing off the hook.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, just from early Wednesday morning on.
I haven't even tried, because I know he's just busy. He's probably sleepy and he's getting all the calls and trying to get. And he got to move. He got to do everything. So he's got to be busy and answering all kinds of questions. But we want to get him on here with you, because you're the lady that know how to answer the question. You know, I talk a lot of shit, but you're no
slack in that department either, asking the good questions and the important questions for people. My question to you right now. Oh, you okay?
Go ahead.
How long are you going to keep that Christmas tree up? I'm not mad at you. I love the idea.
Well, it's been up since 2018. Oh, you thought it was just a new Christmas tree from this year? It's been up since 2018. And I'm not going to take it down. I got to pay somebody to take it down, because I don't know what to do with the balls and, and all of that stuff and those lights. You got to wrap them up and put them away and all that stuff. So I think my daughter Phoebe and her husband Larry is going to come on. I think my daughter Phoebe and her husband Larry, I hope they're watching.
Hey, Phoebe.
Take that damn tree down.
And speaking of daughters and sisters, want to give a shout out and a birthday shout out to Jay's sister. We like to call her Reverend Nita, and Vanetta Corley is her name in South Carolina, and want to give a shout out to.
Is that the one that don't like me?
Yeah.
That's the one that don't like me. How you doing, Vanetta? I ain't gonna say nothing about your real mama.
No, that's her mama, or not happy at all. So I want to give her a shout out. And George.
But back again to Warnock and Ossoff. I'm so happy to have these two young Black men in office, and I just think it's just great for America. And I know we're going to have more senators going to Washington, D.C., just because we know we can do it. We can do it. And I especially would like to see Congressman West from Texas. I'd like to see him in Washington, D.C. also. All of these young, smart Black people. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Royce West is a good man. And I think that he did not get all of the support from Black folks that we saw was necessary in the state of Georgia. But don't sleep on that.
In the state of Texas, right?
Yeah.
So we want him to, because Texas now know that they can do it. They could have done it the last time. They had 270-some thousand Black people that did not vote. Could have put him over just like that. It's going to happen in all the southern states. We're going to do it. And they know we got the young white people too, the young white kids. They're woke. They're on with us. You just got to do the right thing, and that's what's going to happen in America. And I might even run for office.
So what?
I might. You heard what I said. I might run for office for state of Nevada.
Okay.
The problem is people would
what
vote.
office would you run for?
I'm sorry?
What office would you run for?
Shit, I ain't going up there for no 2 years. I ain't going to move my shit. I'm going up there for 6 years.
So that would be the Senate.
You got to move yourself. I'm going to run for senator of Nevada. Yes, I could do it because all you got to do is do the right thing and tell the truth. And comedy wins all the time, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
What we've gone through yesterday and what we've gone through with Black Lives Matter, no matter what. Laughter is healing for the soul, no matter what. And if you just do the right thing, being a senator, all you got to do is just do the right thing. Just do the right thing.
They've had some congressmen and as well as a United States senator who were comedians that that
Franken was from Minnesota, right?
Franken was the senator from Minnesota. Unfortunately, he
got caught up in the past,
came to the present, although nothing compared to.
That's why I don't touch nobody. You come to my show, I ain't shaking hands, I ain't hot, I don't touch nobody. And I'm working at the hotel where Bill Cosby and Elvis work. I ain't touching nobody. I ain't getting no red in the mail. I ain't touching nobody. But I would make a great senator, in Washington, D.C. I'd be good.
I think you would be a good ambassador, George, because you are an ambassador.
Well, they better not send my damn ass down to no Bahamas. I know that. You better not send me to no place. I can drive to the Bahamas, okay?
What about the senator from Hawaii, George, since that's one of your favorite places too?
Well, that's going to be pretty hard to get into because you got to speak Hawaiian. All I know are 2 words. No, you know what I'm saying? You got to speak Hawaiian. You just can't be, just go there. What do they call it? Man, and Hawaii is not in America either. I don't give a damn what they said. That's 3,000 miles across the water. Okay?
George, it's been a state for like 60 years now.
Is it 60 years? That's about right. 1959, somewhere like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, just you said it's a state if you want to, but you got to fly 5.5 hours over that damn ocean. They can call it a state, but that's another island. I don't give a damn what they say.
George, one of my dreams has always been to own a professional football team in Hawaii. It doesn't make any sense logistically, geographically. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
Well, it does too, because the University of Hawaii, they play as many games. They play.
And they are an incredible team.
They're good.
And really popular. Yeah.
Well, why don't you look into that, Sybil? You become an owner of because you got the people over there. It'll be another destination like Las Vegas. Yeah. Las Vegas for the Raiders are going to be great because most Las Vegas won't even be able to see the Las Vegas Raiders because people are coming in from out of town just because they get to come to the destination of the city.
There. Yeah.
Exactly. So it would be good. Hawaii does need a team. They got a lot of people over there. It's as big as it's not as big as Atlanta, but it's bigger than Green Bay.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. That's not exactly your destination, Green Bay, Wisconsin, if you've been there.
Not at all. It's just cold as hell, and they still got bleachers. You got a big ass stadium and people sitting on bleachers. You can't even have your own damn seat. You got to sit next to somebody.
George Yolanda says we're not on the phone. So I do want to close out with
I don't cuss as much as Jada.
I want to close out with one of Yogi's jewels, and we started this a week ago, George, on the 1st of January, and every day we do have a word of inspiration, and today it says, "Do what's right, even when no one else is looking."
I just love that. I was talking a few moments ago about being a senator. Just do what's right. Do what's right. I like that, Yogi, if you're listening, okay? Everybody that's watching right now, this is George Wallace. If you're walking out of a bank and you just notice an envelope on the ground, you pick it up and there's $7,500 in there with the deposit slip, do the right thing. Drive on off. Do the right thing. If you see somebody, one of the old ladies with a wig on crooked, go ahead and do the right thing. Straighten up for her. Do the right thing. If you're talking to somebody and they got a booger coming out of their nose, go ahead and take it out. Do the right thing. I'm George Wallace. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. This book is still new. It will be selling for 6 months before I come out with a new book, more bull twit. But it's go georgewallace.net, georgewallace.com. Get the book. Hardcover is $100. The lady bought, I think I only got about 10. only made, because there's a joke, only made 1,000 hardcover, and they're selling like hotcakes. That's another piece of
hotcakes. Like hotcakes.
When do you see somebody standing in line to get hotcakes? Ain't no line
Only
at
at McDonald's early in the morning. That's right. George, do you still want to close with your last video of the little boy?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
What little boy? The last one was of Georgia. Just close it with a little.
We can't do that. We can't, because.
Why can't y'all do what I asked you to do? Yoga, didn't I ask you to have the music ready to go? What's that girl named Chica? Chica. Put the music on background, just underneath it. It's just a Broadway hit. Just a little bit of it. She can't do it. You know what? When I come over, I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass. I tell you, somebody's gonna be in trouble.
I'm sorry, George.
What's the other video I sent you? I don't. Oh, the little boy. You got that?
Boy. Yes. Yes.
Oh, this is funny. This is my tweet of the day. This is.
Hey, buddy, you tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't keep your eyes open?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been nodding off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
If you want to go to sleep, I can. You go ahead, go to sleep. I'll.
Nothing but a word, Daddy.
I'm out. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you, George. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Next Thursday, we'll be back.
And we'll see you on Monday. And have a great weekend.